And now at 5, we are tracking more flooding concerns that have returned. Flood watches are in place, including some flash flood warnings that are now being issued. We'll show you the radar.
Bringing the Indiana National Guard to Carmel, the help they're supplying from Black Hawk helicopters.
And checking out the damage in Anderson. We've got the recovery ahead for people in Madison County and the help you can get tonight.
And we're live tonight from the Indiana State Fair.
Coming up, we'll tell you how they're honoring first responders who've been very busy with all the flooding in central Indiana.
Tonight at 5, we're tracking the impact that rain could once again have here across central Indiana.
And you can see where it is right now when you look at our live radar. Unfortunately, though, that rain could fall in places still trying to recover from all the flooding we've seen.
That's right. Scott's in for Felicia right now. Rob Ellis in for Angela here at 5 with a look at where the rain is going to fall and how much to expect. Rob.
Well, right now we're tracking most of the rain north of Indianapolis, and the radar will show you we've had some slow-moving thunderstorms. They are producing a little bit of lightning, and by the way, there have been some reports of some funnel clouds with this. Not anticipating any type of major tornado threat, but there is a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, and a couple of land spouts could be possible. Most of the heaviest rain with these storms is falling in a short amount of time, and the storms are moving slowly so that occasionally they've been training over the same locations. It's why these flash flood warnings have been issued farther to the north. Now, we do expect that more storms are going to develop as we get into the evening, hoping we don't get the same locations. If we can just start to push this a little farther to the south, it would be better news. But already we've also got some flood advisories that are in place and a flood watch. It's going to include everyone all the way down to the south side of Indy until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. What are we expecting? Well, temperatures have warmed up into the low 80s, and that helped to fuel the storms. But it could be a line of storms that develops through about 8 to 11 o'clock tonight before we push all of this farther to the south and get it out of here by tomorrow morning. So there is going to be a window of opportunity for additional flooding. I'll talk a little bit more about that chance and the dry pattern ahead coming up.
All right, Rob, we'll see you in a little bit, and want to remind you at home that you can track the rain and storms as it moves through our WTHR viewing area by going to our free streaming app.
And that's where you'll find our live local radar anytime you want. Now to the north, if you happen to live in Carmel, you may have seen and probably heard these. These are massive Black Hawk helicopters.
The Indiana National Guard is using them to help that city construct a secondary dam. It's all needed after Hazeldale Parkway collapsed because of rushing floodwater.
Our Ella Rhodes today saw the Guard take to the skies and fills us in now on the operation that now is underway.
Black Hawk helicopters flew low above Hazeldale Parkway, picking up and then strategically placing 73 giant sandbags to build the dam. Carmel City engineer Bradley Pease says it's a job only the Indiana National Guard could do.
It was inaccessible by any of our equipment today or before, incoming storms. Therefore, the need for the National Guard and the helicopters to place these sandbags.
A few days ago, floodwaters knocked out Hazeldale Parkway, creating a waterfall into the Martin Marietta Quarry that endangered critical water and sanitary pipelines.
Or a couple days ago, I said there was a 90% chance that we would breach that sanitary pipe. We've totally flipped that. It's a 90% chance we will not breach that sanitary pipe.
Each bag weighs 2,000 pounds. The bags created a secondary dam as an additional protective layer in case water passes through the first. Carmel Mayor Sue Finkum said plenty of work still needs to get done.
Our concern largely lies with our residents who are greatly affected by the floods and who have been displaced from their homes.
The city added that more than 40 damaged homes displaced families. A total of 215 homes affected from the floodwater.
Every single day we'll work really hard to make sure that people understand why Carmel, Indiana is the best place to live in the country. We're going to be here alongside our residents who are struggling, fighting on behalf of them and for them.
Mayor Finkum says they plan to restore this area to what it once was. In Carmel, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
So brace yourself, it is going to be a long time until they're able to reopen the Hazeldale Parkway. The county says in coming up with a plan, it did consider a temporary bridge that would open one lane in each direction, but they say in the end, it's just too expensive and it will delay the primary and main repairs there. Carmel now is getting even more help in addition to that. The Rocky Ripple area in North Indianapolis sent some large trucks with sandbags in response to the city's request for help from Indy. City County Councilor John Barth shared this picture on social media, writing that Rocky Ripple was able to share some of the thousands of sandbags that the volunteers came and filled at their park. And the people who call Ravenswood home are now finding that they've got a major cleanup still ahead.
Yeah, it's been about 24 hours now since they were told that they could return home and check out the damage. And now neighborhood dumpsters are filling up, with many people saying their houses are totaled.
And in some areas, they're still dealing with standing water. East 75th, for example, remains underwater right now, making it nearly impossible for people to begin cleaning up there.
What seems somewhat simple is just to get some of this water out of here so that we can get in. The longer the water sits there, the worse it's going to be with mosquitoes and just with the stench of it.
The mayor is pushing for federal aid, but warns it could be more than a week before a decision is made on that request. And tonight, we're learning that FEMA has teams on the ground here in Indiana, checking out some of the places that were hardest hit by the flooding.
Yeah, one of those places is in Anderson in Madison County, and that's where we find Brandon Schaff live tonight at 5. He's at a flood relief distribution that's taking place right now. Brandon?
Good evening, Scott and Marie. That much needed relief is coming right here to this distribution center here in Anderson. I'll step out of the shot so that you can take a look at how much is being distributed. A steady line of cars have been coming in here. This is Turn Away No Longer. That's the organization that is helping to run this, and they're getting supplies to anyone who's impacted by the floods. Well, today in Anderson, FEMA also came alongside the Indiana Department of Homeland Security to assess the flooding damage. I spoke with the Anderson mayor, who says that FEMA saw clear devastation here. Now, they will take what they gathered today to President Trump, who would need to make an official major disaster declaration. That would free up money for people to get help as they recover and rebuild. The International Disaster Emergency Service is based in Noblesville and has nearly 200 volunteers helping after the disaster by gutting out homes so that they can dry out and prevent mold. They say that getting your application into FEMA is important as homeowners recover.
Please submit, because they will be able to get you financial assistance to help you rebuild your home. And again, please let us know that you need some help, because that will give us an idea of how many families are continuing to need help in this area and other areas, so we can come alongside you the best way we can to help you with the cleanup work in your home.
Mayor Broderick says 600 homes were assessed for flood damage in Anderson by the city. They gave that to Indiana DHS so that they can also be presented to FEMA and get this much needed funding to people. That will all be combined with what was assessed today. And coming up at 6, we'll introduce you to some of the homeowners impacted by these devastating floods. A lot of people coming out here to the distribution event, which will continue through 7 p.m. And this will also resume again in the morning at 10 a.m. and again on Friday as well. So this relief still coming to those who need it throughout the week. Send it back to you.
Brandon, thanks so much. And as we wait word from FEMA and the feds, there are many other resources that are now available to flood victims all across central and eastern Indiana.
And we've made it easy for you to find them. Just check out the story that's been posted on WTHR.com/flooding. Also want to give you an update tonight at 5 on the future of data centers here in Indianapolis. In the last couple of hours, the Metropolitan Development Commission voted to adopt a moratorium on building new data centers. This moratorium goes into effect immediately and can stay in place until the end of next year. The city hopes to research future developments and then get community impact during that time.
Oh, you might be missing Felicia right now. That's because she's out with Dustin right now at the Indiana State Fair, and they are checking out all the food.
Yeah, you talk about the best assignment that you could get today. They've definitely got it. They have been drinking and eating all of the great things that all of us would like to do. Hey, guys.
Hey, Hey, not a bad way to spend the day, huh?
Yeah, not only because the weather has actually held up really, really nice and it's pretty comfortable out here, but of course because all of the food. So we have had our milkshakes, we have had our nachos, we've had our pork sandwiches, lots and lots of drinks. We've shaken everything up.
We got our bucket of lemonade we've been working on still.
We've been shaking things.
We've also this is hot. I just ordered an elephant ear. So Felicia and I were just talking. She didn't realize that there is a difference between a funnel cake and an elephant ear.
I thought they were all the same thing.
Definitely
so this is not a funnel cake.
No, this is an elephant ear. This is the way they described it was, think of it as like a sweet pita bread fried. Funnel cake is actually with fluffier dough, and it's actually sweeter.
Well, regardless, whichever one you're doing,
it tastes good.
You should eat it.
So we asked folks here at the fair today, what is the one food item that you just can't leave without having? Here's some of what they said.
I like elephant ears, but I also like ice cream.
Okay.
Oh, do you like them together?
Could you do elephant ears and ice cream?
Mom and Dad will only buy me one.
Oh!
That's true.
Throwing Dad under the bus.
That's right.
All right, what about you, Dad?
I'm an elephant ear man.
Elephant ears.
Elephant ears?
Yeah.
How about you?
Can't go wrong with a corn dog.
A cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger?
Yep.
Okay. How about you? What do you think?
Got to be the cider from the tap room right there.
Okay. Beer, wine, and spirits. And Lily could get an elephant ear sundae if her dad lets her.
That's the only way
you can
you
get this
should get
with
it.
a dollop of ice cream on it for a little extra.
That's the only way you should get it.
That's the way I get it.
Yeah, I feel like we need a food passport at this point because we've had really some of everything.
Only things left is the turkey leg.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, coming up, we're going to take you to the Midway.
I didn't say it, he said it.
Yeah, we're going to do some rides and also some of the animals, another huge popular draw here at the State Fair. For now, we'll send it back to you, Scott and Anne-Marie.
All right, you're going to do those rides on a full stomach, okay?
Yeah, after eating all that stuff, go spin
careful.
around and twirl.
We timed it wrong.
Yes, take a little bag with you in case. Dustin and Felicia, thanks so much. Okay, Rob, it's going to be nice out there for them tonight?
I think in the short term things are looking okay, but we do have showers and storms in the forecast through tonight. It includes Indianapolis, and we're looking at things beginning to dry out for tomorrow. But we got to get through this rain chance first. I'll talk about it coming up.
Everybody's nerves are frazzled right now. They're reaching their breaking point.
Still to come, a crisis in Northwest Indiana. No power for a week.
The tens of thousands of people that are still without electricity right now and the domino effect of problems that's causing. It's ahead.